Hi, this is Kendra with US TV, and I'm back with another video, y'all. Now, I had to do this video because this is so hilarious. So okay, it says, your video has been taken down from YouTube. Native American tell black people they are true aboriginals of America, right? It's a Dane Calloway video, right? So I guess this is what I titled it or whatever, whatnot or whatever. Anyway, because I always say shout outs to Dane Calloway for his information in his video. So if he had anything to do with taking it down, I don't know why. Because I always say in the video, I always be like, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to his video. So there would be absolutely no need to do that. And this video is pretty old for somebody to even want to take it down. But anyway, so it goes, Truist, we received a copyright removal request for your video based on the applicable copyright law. Now, mind you, people do reactionary videos all the time, so if you're going to go ahead and give me a copyright strike, that means that most videos on YouTube should be pulled down, because especially when you're doing content based on using others' content, right? So and you're reacting to it, right? So should not all those be taken down for the same very copyright thing that you're giving me? Make it make sense. But applicable copyright laws being removed from your video, right? Titled Native Americans Tell Black People They Are the True Aboriginals of America, Dane Calloway video. So I put him in there to let you know where I got the information from, right? So why would this get a copyright? It's not like I did not give source, right? So this how I know we are who we are, because people go out of their length to do silly stuff like that. Because when you put true information in a video and you explain it where anybody could get it, and you simplify it so that people know matter of factly that you are an American Indian, people would go out of their way to now flag a video and take it down because too much truth was in it and they couldn't handle it. So it says, removed request issued by Todd Largo. Who the hell is a Todd Largo? And why is he's somebody who couldn't handle the truth. So he had to sit there and get upset about something because too much truth was in it, and it was simplified and broken down in a way where baby boy would have to sit there and eat the fact that he know now that black folk are the true American Indian, and he couldn't handle it. So he had my video flagged. Mind you, it's not like this video was getting super duper traction. It was getting traction, but it wasn't getting enough for you to turn around and flag the video and come pull it down. But this is not the only video they did like that. This is another video. They did the very same thing. And it's so crazy, but this should let y'all black folk know matter of factly, you are not African, you are not African American, you are not black, you don't come from Africa. You are the true Aboriginal of America. The Native Americans know it, the white people know it, the Spanish people know it, the Asian people know it. Everybody in America but you know that you're an American Indian. You are a true American, full-fledged, full-blood. If you may be mixed with some black Europeans, you may be mixed with some black Spanish, Portuguese, you may be even having some Chino slave in your blood, because we know that they, in order for them to acclimate themselves into our community, a lot of them married a lot of our ancestors who were the true Aboriginals, and that's how they got the land, and that's how they sitting over there with these little powwow meetings and trying to discriminate against the Aboriginals. Meanwhile, they're just foreigners who call themselves Native American, right? They're the Chino slaves from colonial Mexico that we read from, right? That were brought to colonial Mexico from the Manila, Philippines. And Sri Lanka, Indonesia, China, so forth and so on. We already know that, right? Because we got that information from Camarillo Ahu, and actually from the book Asian Slave in Colonial Mexico, from Chino to Indian. We got that information from. So I guess it was too much information in it, and it was explained in such a simplified way that they needed to pull the video down. Mr. Todd Largo, you a hater. You a hater. You something like a hater, man. I don't know why you would pull this video down, because it's an informative video. And it's a video that lets us know who we are. Yes, in the 1924 Racial Integrity Act, which was implemented globally. How can you prove it? Because the law was not implemented anywhere else for any other registrar office in any other state to classify any so-called person as black, Negro, and colored up until 1924. It can be proven because it wasn't implemented anywhere else. If you look back at all of the census records, nobody was called Negro, Colored, and Black up until the 1924 Racial Integrity Act. And it was not implemented for registrar offices anywhere in the United States to call anybody with brown skin, Negro, color, and black. And as a matter of fact, the Racial Integrity Act literally says we will no longer classify these people as Indian, but they will be classified as Negro, color, and black. That's how we know who we are. It ain't me, Walter Plecker wrote it. Y'all act like we put this, I didn't put the 1924 Racial Integrity Act up there, he did. So we found the clause. The clause is you exposed who we was in the Racial Integrity Act. You will not call us. Okay, so it gave us an original name. Originally, we were American Indian. And then he decided, well, I want their land. I don't want, they cannot be it anymore because I want to be able to own this land without them being able to take ownership back. So in it, he said, we won't call them Indian anymore. We'll call them Negro, Colored, and Black. I didn't do it. So this video is for each one, teaching one. Don't you ever come on my video, watch my video, not like it, and then get it removed for BS because you can't handle the truth. That's pathetic. So you mean to tell me you so pathetic, can't handle the truth, you'll start pulling down truth to keep your status quo lies of our African slave trade pushed? Give us our stuff back and go back to your own country. How about that? Y'all always talking about go back to Africa. I can't go back to a place I don't belong to. You go back to Africa. Ain't that where y'all was from? Didn't Japhet go over there and mate with some of them Neanderthal beast things and have y'all? Ain't that how y'all got up here? I don't go back to Africa. I'm not from Africa. I'm from America. I can trace my family back all the way to 1685. There was no 1619. I already did a video. There wasn't one. There ain't no African slave trade. The only slave trade that took place here was the American Indian slave trade and the Chino slave trade for the Chino slaves from Indonesia, Sri Lanka, China, and so that was a slave trade. The European slave trade, when they brought all y'all Slavics over here, that was the peon slave trade. That's why you got your Mexicans, right, who are Mongols. That's where you got your white man. That's where you also got your Hindu side. Those were also peon slave trade, right, which came from the Ottoman slave trade, which was the white man, right? So let me tell you something real quick before you come over here and trying to tell somebody what they should and should not be posting. If the truth don't set you free and free indeed, that's your problem. Don't come to my channel, my little old channel, trying to pull down videos because you don't like truth. That's your fault. That's your problem if you don't like truth. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But don't come over to my channel flagging stuff. The truth is in it. And then you can't change the fact that we are who we are. And you knew it already. That's what I don't get. Why are you so up in arms about us finding out who we are? You already in power. I remember my brother was saying that to me. He was like, what difference does it make if we're American Indian? They're already keeping the status quo. They're already in power. So us learning who we are, what difference does it make? And I said, that's right. I don't know why they so opposed to us knowing we're American Indian. Because what proof? You want to know what it does? It stops police brutality. Because anytime police kill us, technically he's killing an Aboriginal. And we should be, and under the Constitution, the United Nations is to protect the Aboriginals of every country, and including the Americas, right? That's under the United Nations contract with America, is to protect the Aboriginals. We are the Aboriginals. So every time you shoot down a so-called black man, you're technically killing an Aboriginal. But you knew that already. But under the guise that you continue to call them black, Negro, and colored, nobody knows that. Right? Because they keep thinking, oh, they're African slaves. We are not African slaves. As a matter of fact, that theory has been debunked several billion times over and over again. That's why you can't go anywhere in Washington, D.C. You cannot go anywhere in Virginia and anywhere that these so-called slave you can't find manifests that back up any of the information they share. I went to Africa. You know how to be like, oh, Africa. They don't got it. They don't. Europe don't got it. They don't have no slave trade up until the 18th. They say they wouldn't. Yes, they would, sweetie. They have whaling logs that dates past the so-called African slave trade. It's bullish. It's been debunked. I debunked it with the 1619 San Juan Bautista. The boat, you can Google it. The boat never ever came to America with any 20 and odd Negroes in it from Africa, anywhere else. The San Juan Bautista was dismantled like 60-something years before 1619. It's been debunked. I don't see why everybody I get it. You want as Senator Benson said, when they asked him, why did you call black people in America Aboriginal? And he said, well, even if I gave them a little bit of ammunition, the state will still keep the status quo. Not my saying, his saying, which means he knew the truth. They said, well, Senator Benson, why would you call African American? You know, they have to put that term there. Why would you call black people Aboriginal? He said it had to be in your subconscious. Well, why would that be in your subconscious, sweetie? Because he read enough. He educated himself enough to know the actual absolute truth. What do you think Trump even said? Black people, you built America. People thought he meant slave labor. No, sweetie. He was educated. What do you think in a previous video when he was younger, he said that American Indian looked like Michael Jordan. He knew what he was saying. He got the education to know it. Right? Everybody's so up in arms about black folk being American Indian. I find it funny because look at what the Red Sox portray. Red never was a light-skinned person. I'm a mahogany. If you look at my skin tone, I am red, sweetie. I've never been black a day in my life. My steering wheel is black. I am a mahogany reddish brown. Red bone used to be a term for dark-skinned folk. This new age red bone, my sister is light-skinned. She light-skinned. She is not red. She is yellow. She, as what's his name? DJ Envy say waffle color Negroes. She is the color of a waffle, sweetie. She is not red bone. No light-skinned person is red bone. They are yellow. I'm red bone, sweetie. I have a reddish underhue with my mahogany brown skin. All those fictitious Indian Native Americans, those are Chino slaves. Go read the book. They are not really American Indian. They know they're not. That's why they have the moccasins, the coats, and the teepees of Siberians, Eskimos. Look it up. They're from Siberia. They are not American Indian. Look at their customs. Look at even the so-called Aboriginal of Peru. They're wearing dresses that came from China. Go study your history, sweetie. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Look at early depictions of the Virginia tobacco Indians. Look at the depictions. These are old drawings. They were Negroes. Kinky-haired Negroes. You can look it up. The proof is all there. It's just that everybody wants to be willfully ignorant because they don't want to give us any origin other than what do you think we're not allowed? I did a video on this. What do you think we're not allowed to self-identify? We're the only race where we can't say who we are. White people can come over here and say they Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, Irish, Scottish. Meanwhile, they come from Northern Europe, okay, from the Caspian Sea, most of them Slavics. But they don't claim that no more because they came to America and got new identities based on a social system where anything that was Slavic back in the day was a slave, a peasant, and didn't have no pot to piss and no window to throw it out of. So they changed their identity to be able to to have a higher social class. But I digress. That's a whole different story for another time. But like I said, nobody talks about that, right? So when we sitting here and we're talking about identities and we're talking about us so-called black folk and y'all want to pull down information, why don't y'all tell the truth and shame the devil? Tell the truth. You already in power. What difference does it make? You already ran America straight to hell. Water polluted, food polluted, air polluted. You ran it to garbage. So what difference now is if you tell the truth about us being American Indian? Think about it. We already know the proof is already there. You can't they keep these stupid fake stories up of finding African tribes, blah, blah. Maybe you didn't find nothing, which I don't dodge. I love Camario Ahu. Dodge the hijack. Anytime they say they found an African people, they're just letting you know that the original people they found in America just so happen to look like they could be Ham's children. That's all this is. They basically saying we found a dark-skinned, dark brown people here. That's what they found in America. The American Indians were never Mongols. Yes, Mongols did have dark skin at that time. So if any time that they were Mongols, people could have clearly said the American Indians look like Mongols, because Mongols did have dark skin at that time. So there'd be no reason to lie about that. But that's not what they said. As a matter of fact, if you read Quadripheg, he goes on to tell you that the Eskimo, which are Mongols, right? The Eskimo don't look like the rest of the American Indian that was all around North and South America. Excluding them, everybody else looked like they came from the same mother and father. So what I don't understand is, why not just tell the truth about American history? We already know that the African slave trade is a lie. We already know it. There was no way you could honestly do it. Everybody would have died. I done did this video. We done debunked 1619. It's over. We know already. There ain't no Africa. We don't come from Africa. Not in the way you say it. There ain't no African slave trade. Never has been, never will be. You brought, it was in reverse. You took American Aboriginals and brought them to Africa. And let's clear something up too, and I said this in a previous video. The slaves that came from Africa, allegedly, those were Portuguese and Spanish exiles who were sent to Africa from Portugal and Spain because they were being exiled. They were, so you can read this history, right? They were sent to Africa and then went and got confiscated from out of Africa and brought to the Americas. They were never Africans. They were Portuguese and Spanish exiles. You never had Africans brought over to America. They were either black, yep, the so-called brown skin, Scottish, Irish, Portuguese, and Spanish, or American Indians who were sold in any of those slave trades. Stop lying. Tell the truth. Shame the devil. Stop pulling my videos down. Stop flagging my videos for copyright just because you cannot handle the truth. Point blank, period. If you don't like it, why don't you get on there and do a video about it instead of flagging my video? How about that? Anyway, this is Kendra with Truest TV. Stay up, stay blessed, put God first above all else, y'all. Peace out.